in order to have what you really want, first you must become who you really are. I think about this one when it comes to, well, making the decisions, making choices to be the guy, be the father, be the husband, be the man that you envision yourself being. To step up and lead the life that you want, that you dream of, that you desire. Well, to be able to do that, first you must become the man who's capable of leading that life. Now I will foreshadow with, I haven't reached that level yet. I haven't become completely the man that I'm meant to be, that I need to be to lead the life that I want. I'm just further down that journey. Comparative to where I was when I started this process, I am night and day different. When I first started, I was, well, to not put it kindly, to put it bluntly, I was horrendously overweight. I had man tits, stomach hanging over my pants. I was ashamed. I was disgusted by the man in the mirror. I was worse than your average guy, your average father, your average business owner, because my business was transforming people's physiques, transforming their bodies. I was the height of hypocrisy. I've had my gym for fucking 12 years. I have been doing this for 18 odd years. And here I was, fat, out of shape, covering up my feelings with food. I was the height of hypocrisy. I was disgusted with myself. I was ashamed of who I was and ashamed that my kids looked at that. One of the moments, because, kids have no fucking filter, was when my daughter looked at me and goes, "Danny, why are your boobs bigger than mummy's?" Talk about a fucking gut punch. Talk about going, well, shit. Maybe something needs to change. And so that's what I decided to do. And yet, it still fucking took 6 attempts. 6 attempts to get this right. Because, well, I'd gotten comfortable being comfortable. I'd gotten used to it. It had become habitual. And that's the resistance that gets you. That's that resistance that comes to fuck with your world. Because it whispers in your ear and it's like, it's okay. You don't need to change. This is good enough. You're okay. And I could tell myself the lies. And they were fucking lies. Nobody lies better to them than you lie to yourself. And that was, well, I worked out. So I was like, it's fine. Like, I was strong. I could still play basketball. Like, I could still do stuff. I wasn't in great shape, but I wasn't in bad shape. And I consoled myself on the fact that I was still in better shape than most. No. No, it wasn't. That was a lie too. That was a lie to placate myself, to cover up the excuses that, I was the classic example of Monday to Friday. I'd be pretty bang on. Friday night, I'll have a little bit. Saturday, let's get pizza. Let's crack a bottle of wine. And I'm such an all or nothing person that, well, once I start, it's fucking game over. And so it'd be not just a bit of pizza, not just a glass of wine. It'd be a bottle of wine. It'd be a full pizza by myself, and then I'd finish my wife's. And then I'd have ice cream, and then I'd have some, chocolate and lollies, and then I'd have some chips and dip and, all of it. I wasn't even remotely close to the man I saw up here. The man I knew that I could be. And as I said, I'm still not happy. I'm still not where I should be. Physically, I am well down the path. But in other areas, I'm still building it out. But this shit takes time. Like, you're not just going to get there overnight. And I made a lot of mistakes along the way. On top of that, it's part of why I'm like, you should pay someone to shortcut that. You know where you want to end up. You know the life you want to lead. You know who you want to be and how you want to show the fuck up. Shortcut to it faster. Pay someone so you avoid all the mistakes. Like, there are so many mistakes I made along this way. So many mistakes that if I hadn't have made them, I would have reached my end goal so much faster. So much faster. But I made mistakes. I made stupid choices. I learnt from the lessons and I adapted it. And as more things come up, as guys go through this program and they encounter things that I didn't, we adapt and we grow and we accelerate it. That's part of why you pay someone. Because trying to figure out and become the man that you know you should be is a difficult process. It takes time, it takes commitment. You are literally systematically killing off the version of you that you are right now and replacing it with the man that you know you should be. Do you think maybe there's going to be resistance along the way? Think maybe there are going to be things that kick up, old habits, old subconscious programming that kick up to, well, try and prevent you from doing that? Just maybe. Like, I'm sure we've all been there where, and I know for a fact myself especially, that you go and you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then the opposite happens. And you're like, how the fuck did that happen? How did I end up here again? And it's so ingrained in you. It's so subconsciously built into it. That's why in Demanding Greatness, it's once you get past the first 6 weeks, you get into a 12-month program, right? That's broken into 3 blocks of 126 days. I got asked the question the other day, why 126 days? It seems random, it seems really long, it seems daunting, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I get it. 1, we ain't here to fuck spiders, we're here to get shit done. We're here to do work and, well, fucking transform you into the man that you know you can be, the man you see up here. That's why we're here. We ain't here to fuck around. So, yeah, it's gonna take up more than you think it should. It's gonna require more effort than you think you should have given before. We're trying to transform you as a person. We're trying to rewrite your personality into becoming the man that you know you should be. We are trying to eradicate and erode all those old habits that have led you to this life that you are here at now. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of effort, a little bit of work, a little bit of time. It's going to take more than you think because we're changing more than you think. And part of the reason why it's 126 days, 126, is because it takes 126 days to replace a negative habit with a positive habit and fully ingrain it into you so that that becomes part of who you are. 126 days. It's why most habits and rituals and things don't work. Because, well, let's be real. How often have you heard of anything over 90 days? Raise your hand. How many things have you stuck with every single day, no matter what, rain, hail, or shine, for more than 60 or 90 days? I'll wait. I have yet to come across a person who's undertaken anything, who then hasn't turned around and completely changed their life if it's been less than 126 days. If they do it more than 126 days, guarantee you they're coming out a different person. Guaranteed. But that's why most programs fail, because it doesn't actually address and deal with the underlying programming, habits, and things that you have ingrained in you. It's only dealing with the surface level. And to a certain extent, you can convince yourself that, well, it's only 90 days. It's only 60 days, 30 days, whatever it might be. Like, I've had clients, I've had family members, I've had all these people, and they're like, well, I could do anything for 30, 60, 90 days. Cool. We're not actually looking to just do it for that time frame. We are looking for you to change who you are, to become the best version of yourself, to step in to being the man that you know you should be. That's great that you can make a commitment for that for a short period of time, but we aren't trying to just stop for a short period of time. We are trying to break the addiction you have to that version of you to step into being the greatest version of yourself. It's why we must demand greatness of ourselves. That's the whole fucking point. That's the point. And people don't get it. People don't wrap their heads around this. You know, my father is a prime classic example of this. I had some people saying, oh, you talk a bit of shit about your father. And I was like, I said it to his face. I say it to his face all the time. So I have no problem bringing it up on here. Because if I can say it to your face, and I will, I'll say all these things to your fucking face. I'm not talking behind your back. But he's got this thing, and my father is heavily addicted to chocolate. Like, unbelievably addicted to chocolate. And he's always got this thing about like, oh, well, I'm not that addicted to chocolate. I could give it up anytime I want. I just choose not to. That's called a fucking addiction. That's what an addiction is. Alright? And so he has this thing, and he's done it a couple of times, and I will give him credit on this, that it is impressive for him. That for Lent, he'll give up chocolate. So for 40 days and 40 nights, he doesn't eat chocolate. But he does that knowing full well that the second that is over, he's going back to all the habits that he used to have. And it shows good willpower. It shows good strength. But the fact that you then return to what you were doing defeats the fucking purpose. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you keep showing up and then doing the same thing and being like, oh, why am I still stuck here? You're insane. Like, that's the definition of insanity. You haven't actually changed. You haven't done something different. You haven't changed who you are on the inside. So of course you're going to keep ending up in the same fucking place. Of course you're going to keep getting the same results. You haven't done anything to change it. It's that simple. You haven't actually fundamentally changed. You haven't changed who you are as a person. And until you do that, nothing will ever change. Nothing will ever last. It's why truly changing is such a phenomenal thing. It's like with New Year's resolutions. What is it? Quitter's Day is, I think, 2 weeks in from memory. And that's something like 63% of people will quit within 2 weeks. And of that left, something like 93% will, don't quote me on those numbers, but it's something around that, will quit by the end of February. Of the people left, 5% of those who've already dropped out, so we're already looking at like 93% of people who've dropped out. Of those who are left, 5% will still be on that habit come the next New Year's. 5% out of the 7% that already had continued past the end of February. Change is difficult. Change is rare. But change is required. If you don't like your life, if you aren't happy with where you are, it requires that you make a fundamental change to who you are. And I know that's a daunting concept. But to have everything you want, you must first become the man who can have everything you want. You You must first become the man you are meant to be. You know who that is. You can see it. You can tell me what that life has, what that man has. But what does that man do? You know, it's often talked about in those things of like making money and stuff like that. So what would a millionaire do? What actions would that take? It's the same in manifestation circles, but it applies that you must start showing up with the actions, the habits, and the thoughts of the man who has the life that you want. And while you continue to replay the same story and the same narrative that you currently have, you are never going to get there. Never in a million years are you going to get there. Because you can't until you change, well, the actions, the thoughts, and your habits you take. But those are the things that define who you are. So you can't reach there until you become the man you were meant to be. So you have to live out a different story. You have to live out a different life. You have to start taking different actions and live as if you were already that man. Like, have you seen those wristbands and it's like, what would Jesus do? Or what would Chuck Norris do? Or insert whoever you aspire to be like. Well, I want you to change it and I want you to make it, what would the greatest version of you do? You know, if you're presented with going out with the boys and having the cheeky beers, or you could go out with the boys and have water or a Diet Coke or, you know, something along those lines. What would the greatest version of you do in that situation? If you had the choice between, you know, had a crap day and calling it quits and fucking giving in and having the pizza, or sticking to what you know you should do, what would the greatest version of you do? Because until you step into being the man, well, that you know you should be, you're going to be stuck at these things. So you need to start asking yourself the questions. When you're presented with this crossroads, what choices are you going to make that are different? Because remember, the tree falls the way it leans. It's not the macro decisions. It's not the big, gigantic decisions that matter. It's the little, tiny ones that are made daily, over and over. It's the 1,000 little daily choices that matter. Are you going to work out? Yes, no. Are you going to give it all your intensity? Yes, no. Did you give every rep as much as you could on that? Yes, no. Did you leave it all out there? Yes, no. Did you follow the plan? Yes, no. Did you eat the food? Yes, no. Like, it's all these little choices. Did you drink the water? Did you go for the walk? Did you let the conditions outside determine what you wanted to do? Yes, no. You need to start acting as if you were already that man. Start acting as if you were the man you were meant to be. Because you were meant for this. You were meant for more. It's like the Socrates quote. The greatest shame is a man going to his deathbed without ever realizing the potential of his physical body. You need to go out and discover who you could fucking be. It starts with the physical. It starts with the physical. And the rest will flow. And it's going to take longer than you think, but also so much can happen faster than you think. It's this weird paradigm between reaching, well, there's never a final destination, but reaching much further of who you want to be and should be will take a long time. But transforming your life and starting that process doesn't take very long at all. I could get you to drop 20 kilos in the next 6 weeks. I could get you to start seeing the body that you've always wanted in 6 weeks. To truly build it out and start achieving everything else you wanted, that could take some time. That could take a year or two. But starting to see and be the man that you know you want to be and be proud of, that can happen pretty damn fucking quick. But you've got to start acting as if you're already that guy. You've got to start inhabiting the actions, the thoughts, and the habits of the man that you know you're meant to be. And once you start doing that, and you start stacking enough days like that, well, soon enough, you'll be the man. that you know you're meant to be. And everything in your life will get better. So if you're sick of thinking about it and sick of the vision you have for yourself not matching the man in the mirror, then click the link in my bio. Let's get you into demanding greatness. Let's start doing the work that is required and help you step into becoming that man. Everything you want is on the other side of this decision. You were meant for more. It's time to start acting like the man you were meant to be. So click that link. I can't wait to see you then.